Sheet Metal Training, Step 2.1, On-Screen Overview. After logging into the program, you must go to the job file and create a job. I've already created a job for us to use for this on-screen overview. The next step will be to create your first zone. Go to the bottom right and click the Add New Zone button and type in the information you wish to use. Fill in the other important information that you would like to use to label the items as you do your takeoff. We'll start with the subzone, and we'll use the system. Click the OK button at the bottom, and now select the pressure classes and the labor rates you wish to use. For this case, we'll begin with base labor rate, and on the rectangular tab, we'll make sure that the 2-inch is selected, and on the round, the 2-inch is selected. Click the OK button, and the program will change to the takeoff screen. After the takeoff screen has loaded, the next step will be to open the on-screen program. To do this, go to the Tools drop-down menu at the top of the screen and select the QuoteExpress on-screen located at the bottom of the list. The on-screen program will open in the last known location, which in this case is to the right, and it will immediately open up a window asking you to select a plan file. I'm going to select Sheet Metal Print M1 and select the Open button at the bottom. The print will then open and be sized to fit into the window, and you'll immediately be prompted to define your scale. Click the green button at the top and use your mouse wheel and roll forward, and it will allow you to zoom into the print and to a selected known dimension to be able to scale off and put in what the dimension was. For this case, we will use a diffuser. Select the left-hand side of the diffuser and the right-hand side of the diffuser, or the top and the bottom. Type in the number of inches that this line represents. Click the OK button, and the program will build a scale based on the pixels per inch. Next step is to hit the button that says Fit to Screen. This will zoom you out so that you can get an overall view of the blueprint. I'm then going to use the Zoom Direct mode and click this button, which will then allow me to draw a box around an area, and the program will zoom into that area. Now I can begin the takeoff. The first thing I'm going to do is select the piece of equipment, which is the rooftop unit. Go back over to the main takeoff window and click on the catalog button. This will open the catalog and show you all of the categories available. I'm going to select rooftop units, category number 1, and select the complete package unit, which is group number 2. Then select the tonnage that you wish to use for this application, and move your mouse over to the print and click where you would like this item to appear. The next step is to look at the blueprint and determine what are going to be the first few items that you're going to use. In this case, we're going to use a flex connection, a drop, and then an elbow at the bottom of it. I'm going to go back over to the main takeoff window and select the flex connection, which is on the lower left-hand corner of the rectangular palette. I will then put in the dimensions of this, which is 36 by 18. And I can see that the first few feet of this duct run has liner. I will then turn on the liner option. I can then drop the flex connection on the print where I wish to have the icon appear. The next item will be a drop of duct. I'm going to go to the bottom of the on-screen palette and click on the No Scale Duct icon. This will allow me to put in duct as a fitting with a known length. Once I select the item, you'll see that the dimensions are carried over from the previous item. 38 by 20 is already filled in for me. The next step is to only put in the feet that I wish to use. Click into the feet box, go down to the number palette, and select how many feet you would wish to use. In this case, we'll use 6 feet. I'm then going to click on the blueprint where I would like this item to appear. Located at the bottom of this drop is going to be an elbow. I'm going to select the elbow icon, and you'll see that the 38 by 20 is filled in for me. However, that is an elbow with a 38-inch cheek. I need a 20 cheek for this particular application. Go back to the main on-screen window and click on the 90-degree square elbow nameplate, and you'll see that it reverses the dimensions for you. Now you can click on the blueprint and have that item appear. Next, we'll be clicking the scalable ductwork. Select the regular duct icon down at the bottom. I'm going to go back to the main takeoff window and flip the dimensions again. And now I can draw this ductwork in where I would like it to appear. Select the starting point and then move your mouse across and select the ending point. Single click at the beginning, single click at the end. The program will draw in the ductwork using whatever color was last used, and because we have liner on, we're getting a grid pattern over the top of it. I'm now going to right click and hold and drag the print to the right, which will allow me to move the print. I can now see that I have a transition going to 24 by 16. I'm going to go to the bottom of the screen, select the transition, and move over to the entry palette and select 24 and 16. Liner is no longer required at this point, so I'm going to select the liner option and change it back to no liner. You can now click on the blueprint where you would like the transition icon to appear. Next, go to the bottom, select the ductwork again, go up and click the beginning point and the ending point. Since I already have duct loaded on the mouse, I'm going to continue this run on the vertical section. Right click and drag the print up while scaling, and it will allow you to click your ending point. Right click and drag the print down so that I could then go down and select an elbow and put that in its location. Right click the print and drag it one more time so that now I can see the finishing run. A transition going to 20 by 14. Transition, and then select 20 and 14 off of the entry palette and place that icon where you would like it to appear. Next, select the scalable ductwork icon, click the beginning point and the ending point. And we finish it with an end cap. Select the end cap out of the palette and place it where it should appear. The next run we have is 20 by 16 with some 45-degree elbows and coming off with an angle tap-in. I'm going to select the angle tap-in icon and put in the dimensions that I would like to use, 20 by 16. Click the print, select ductwork, and fill in where it needs to be. I'm going to do the 45-degree run as well. Right click and drag my print so that I can see the rest of the 20 by 16. Now come down and select the 45-degree elbow and place it on the print where it needs to be shown. I have a transition going to 16 by 12. I'll select the transition icon and using the entry palette at the bottom, put in the 16 by 12 dimensions. Right click the print and drag so that I can then see this run. After putting in the ductwork, we will finish this one as well with an end cap. Following that, we have another angle tap in with 14 by 12 ductwork and some elbows. Angle tap in, select your dimensions off your entry palette at the bottom, place the tap in where you would like the icon, and then select the ductwork. Now clicking the beginning and the end will draw in the ductwork. Continuing while I have the ductwork loaded on the mouse is the easiest way so that I don't have to continuously keep selecting ductwork. Now I can come back and place the 90-degree elbows where I would like them to appear. And ending with an end cap. At this point, I would like to zoom back out so that I can take an overall look at the blueprint and make sure that I have all of the supply ductwork. I'm going to click the Fit to Screen button on the left-hand side of the on-screen window. Looking at the blueprint, I can see that all of the rectangular ductwork has been taken off. I can now start with my round takeoffs running to registers. The very first area that I would like to start with is with the largest diameter. By viewing the blueprint, I can see that the 10-inch diameter here are the largest ones. I'm going to click the Zoom Direct Mode button again and click and drag a box around these 4 10-inch registers. This will allow me to zoom in and get a closer look at them. I know I'm going to start the takeoff with a conical spin-in takeoff, And once I select one, I can see that the last diameter used was 12 inch. I'm going to go to the entry palette and select 10 inch. I could then put my mouse where I want this icon to appear and simply continue clicking until I have all of them spaced out exactly as I need them. Next, I'm going to need some snap lock pipe. I'm going to move to the accessory palette and click the snap lock button, which will then allow me to draw that ductwork out. By clicking the beginning and then the end, just the same as the rectangular ductwork, you can see that I can draw the snap lock pipe in the same exact way. I'm going to try and get all of these 4 runs, and then move on to the fittings which would run after them. Next, we will need a piece of flexible ductwork. I'm going to go to the accessory palette and select the flex duct icon. 10 inch diameter, 6 foot standard length, and click on the blueprint where I would like this icon to appear. I'll place it just above the flex icon for viewing purposes. Continue clicking until I have all of them placed. The next one will be an adjustable elbow that sits on top of the register. Select the adjustable elbow icon out of the accessory palette. 10 inch diameter is carried over from the previous, and select the location where you would like this elbow to appear. After placing the elbows, we will then need to grab the register. Select the T-bar lay and diffuser icon out of the entry palette, and you'll see that the 10 inch diameter is carried forward, just as all the previous fittings, and place these items on the screen. This will allow you to quickly continue taking off the same item. I'm now going to hit Fit to Screen so that I can zoom back out and get an overall picture of this blueprint. I can see that I've completed the 10 inch takeoff, and what's left now is 8 inch round takeoffs and 6 inch rounds. I'm going to pick a section where I would like to zoom in and focus my takeoff. I'm going to click the Zoom Direct mode again, and I'll begin with this area located down here. By clicking and dragging a box and letting go, the program will automatically zoom into this location. I can now start over and select the conical spin-in with damper and change to the appropriate diameter. I will now select 8 inch and then select the locations where I would like to place these icons. And I can quickly continue going around the blueprint and dropping in the icons for all of the complete runs that I see. This will allow me to quickly take off everything that's within view. Select the snap lock pipe icon, and you can continue drawing all of the snap lock pipe in on the blueprint that is visible. This will allow you to ensure that you've taken everything off, because everything will have a color on top of it. The snap lock pipe has multiple optimizations where you can set it to allow you to snap to a standard length, round to the nearest foot, or always give you exact feet and inches. The default setting is to round to the nearest foot. When you run a report at the end, you will then see the total number of feet that you need for any given diameter rounded off to the nearest foot. After you get the snap lock pipe taken off, simply go to the next fitting, which in this case, there's going to be flex at the end of every of these runs. I'm going to select the flexible duct icon again, and then go around and place this icon at every one of these register points so that I can ensure that I am getting my flexible duct icon at the end. Next would be the lay and diffuser. I will then go ahead and select all of these locations so that I can ensure that I'm getting the labor to install these registers. There is no material cost set up in the program as a default with the register. However, we do throw in a little bit of money to cover the panduit strap connections. Next, I'll need the adjustable elbows. I'm going to place an elbow at every register location, as well as where I need the elbows in these runs. Going around on the blueprint and placing these icons will give me an overall picture when I finish and hit the Fit to Screen. I can now see this entire section has been taken off. Following the same principles and procedures, I've already completed the rest of the takeoff, taking off the 8 inch round register runouts as well as the 6 inch register runouts at the bottom.
It is now time to take off the return system.